The histories of Draynor Village are not well documented. What we do know is that Count Draynor Draken was exiled from Mauritania in the middle of the 4th Age. He fled with his vampire servant, Roundtown, into Misthalin. Weakened and away from his people, Count Draynor took up residence in his newly built manor, where it still stands today. It is unclear if Draynor Village predated these events under a different name, or whether settlers built the village after the Count's arrival, naming it appropriately. Whether the Count or the village came first, it wasn't long before people started to suffer the bloodlust of the vampire Count. Though regularly attacked for blood by Count Draynor, the village continued to expand as other nearby settlements grew too. With the expansion of Lumbridge and Port's Rim, Draynor Village became a bustling community. When the Wizard's Tower was built at the start of the 5th Age, the village became the centre of 3 important communities, further expanding its population. The vampire Count continued to prey on the villagers, however the mansion grew into disrepair and soon enough grew to be just a creepy manor to the north. Despite the expansion and continuing success of the village, the vampire menace still regularly preys on the people. We've got a number of tasks to do today. Draynor Village is pretty iconic for its willow trees. We're going to make use of them, and to do that we'll need to work towards 30 woodcutting, 30 firemaking and 30 fletching. We already have 30 woodcutting, but the other 2 we will need to grind for. We will now have access to a Slayer Master and will be looking to complete a Slayer task for Spira. Once we have level 7 Slayer, we'll need to work our way back to Lumbridge and slay a cave bug for the easy achievement. Speaking of achievements, today we'll need to chop some willow logs in Draynor Village and kill a zombie in the Draynor sewers. We would normally need to complete a lap of the Draynor Village rooftop agility course, but we would need level 10 agility to do this, and we aren't yet able to access agility content. As well as killing the zombie in the sewers, I'll be looking to kill a Highwayman, Black Knight, Dark Wizard, Jail Guard and Ghost. We'll be looking to complete the Ernest the Chicken quest, a Porcine of Interest, and the Vampire Slayer quest today. Finally, our miscellaneous tasks. We'll be looking to make purchases from Olivia's Market Seed stall, Ned's Rope store, Fortunato's Wine stall, Tiango's Toy store, and 1 of each die from Aggie. We'll also be looking to watch the bank robbery cutscene and complete a task set for us by the Wise Old Man. So let's get to it. As we walk down the road towards Draynor Village, we hear someone crying near the creepy manor. We find this lady Veronica, who tells us that her fiancé Ernest entered the manor to ask for directions. He went inside a while ago and hasn't come out. Veronica is worried for his safety and has asked us to track down her fiancé. We're always happy to help, so let's go in. As we begin to walk towards the manor, we can see just how creepy it looks. The trees take a swipe at us, the door closes behind us and chairs follow us. We hear noises coming from upstairs and go to investigate. This mad scientist-looking man and a chicken are together in a room. Citizenscape asks the man if he's seen Ernest, and the man tells us that Ernest was turned into a chicken using a machine. The machine then broke, so he can't be turned back until the parts are recovered. We need to hunt down a pressure gauge, a rubber tube and an oil can. We quickly find the rubber tube in a room with a zombie. The door to the room is locked however, and we can't get in. We'll need to find a key. We search around the house and enter a basement. There's a coffin in the basement, and we've heard stories of a vampire that lives in the manor. Perhaps the stories are true? When we touch the coffin, we suffer damage. Let's not stick around here. We look around the house for a key and the other parts. We find a few items on the ground, but nothing we need. When we search around outside, we find a key buried in a pile of compost. The key smells foul, but now we can enter the room. When we search the fountain, we see the pressure gauge. The fountain is filled with piranhas though, so we're not sticking a hand in there to get it out. We'll need to think of an alternative idea. The key fits the door and we can collect the rubber tube. The zombie inside the room attacks us as we enter, but we're not equipped to deal with it right now. We grab the rubber tube and run. When we search the kitchen, we find some poison. This gives Citizenscape an idea for the piranhas. We find this fish food upstairs too. So yes, we poison the fish food and stick it in the fountain. Now we can safely retrieve the pressure gauge. 1 to go. We investigate the manor further and find a basement. The oil can is stuck behind a metal door and it's locked tight. Levers on the walls open some doors, but it seems to be a puzzle. We'll be right back. After far too much experimenting, we managed to get the right combination of levers pulled to open the right door. Now we have all the parts we need. Let's get these back and have Ernest returned to human form. Okay, now we can enter Draynor Village proper. We've been here before and purchased from Olivia, but I think we should do it again. Let's buy some seeds from her. She sells Asgarnian seeds. These might be a good thing to grow when we're back in Asgarnia. We've also made dyes with Aggie before, but I think we should buy one of each dye that she makes. One red, one yellow, and one blue. I've been told that a wise old man who was once an accomplished adventurer lives in town. Let's see if we can talk to him.
Greetings, Citizenscape.
Wow, how did you know my name?
I'm a very wise man.
So that's why they call you the wise old man.
Less of the old, thank you.
Sorry.
I prefer experienced. Oh, the things I've seen.
Please, sir, tell me of your experience.
Well, where to start? I've traveled the world from the depths of the deadliest dungeons to the jungles of Karamja. I've meditated with the monks of Intrana. I've read each and every book in the library of Varrock. I've settled down now in early retirement.
Early?
Watch it, boy.
Right, sorry, sir.
Well, I guess it's true. I'm not as young as I once was. You seem a keen young thing. I'll tell you what. If you can collect some things for me, I can offer you goods from my travels as a reward.
Well, that sounds like a fair trade. What do you have in mind?
My drinking glasses were broken when I moved into this house. Perhaps you can get me a new set. I need 9.
Yeah, I'm sure I can accomplish that.
The glass blowers of Intran always made nice glasses.
I'm not quite sure where that is, but I'm sure I can find you some new drinking glasses. Okay, so I don't know how to work glass just yet, but I know where I can buy beer. Then I can drink it and just rinse out the glasses. Okay, so things got a little out of hand, and I was perhaps a little drunk and disorderly. They let me out on good behaviour. Apparently a friendship with the Duke has its perks. Not to mention that I'm friends with everyone in Lumbridge. I've brought you the drinking glasses.
Well, they're not as nice as my old ones, but they'll do. Here, take these.
Oh, seeds. Thanks. When I walk out of the wise old man's house, a lady beckons me over. She tells me that the wise old man was involved in a robbery, and he's not as nice as he pretends to be. Citizenscape's not sure what to make of all this, but the lady tells him to talk to the bank guard. I saw what you did to that bank, and to all those people. How could you? I thought you were a good citizen of the world.
Whatever are you talking about? What an imagination you have.
Don't play coy. I saw the bank security recording.
Nobody will ever believe you. I'm just a kind old man to them.
I thought you were a highly accomplished citizen, a role model.
Bah, what did all my goodness ever get me? I've helped all these people, and for what? Now I live in a freezing cold house next to a pigsty, in a village filled with peasants and vampire attacks.
You could have helped against the vampire. You've taken down greater foes.
But why should I? I've spent my entire life traveling the world, completing quests, saving lives, defeating monsters. What have the people ever given me?
It's not about the reward, it's about doing the right thing.
Bah. One day you'll come to realize that you need to look out for number 1. Nobody else matters.
Never. I refuse to let my heart turn as cold as yours. You'll see.
Ha, sure kid, sure.
Well, after all that, we need to get back to helping people. There are still some local businesses to help. We can buy another rope here from Ned, and we can buy a bottle of wine here from Fortunato. We still have a pretty big hangover though, so maybe we don't drink it all now. We can buy toys here from Diego. A spinning plate looks good. Citizenscape enjoys this too much to ever let his heart grow cold. The locals are being harassed by highwaymen on their way out of town. Let's deal with one real quick. Now we have a black cape again. It suits us. We can complete our other combat tasks too. Jail guard, Black Knight, a Dark Wizard, and a zombie in the sewers for that achievement. We hear noise coming from a little ways up the sewers. There's a man living down here. Let's see what this is all about. Hello? Are you living down here? Are you okay?
Yes, I must live here.
How come? Why not live up in the village?
I hide from my master.
Your master? What do you mean?
Master Draynor. We are vampires.
Oh, you're a vampire? You're not going to attack me, are you?
I am too weak this far from my homeland. Only my master has the strength.
Your master Count Draynor? He lives in the creepy manor, right?
Yes, he does.
Well, if you're stuck here because of him, what would happen if he were killed?
Ruanton would be free.
So you're not evil. You're forced into the situation, right?
Yes, beyond my control.
Well, I'll do what I can to help you.
Thanks. You may use my anvil.
Oh, thank you. It's so conveniently located. So Ruanton tells us a bit about his master. Count Draynor is a vampire prince from Mauritania who was exiled here. Apparently vampires on this side of the River Salve are weakened, especially so far away from their family. There may be a chance of taking him down and helping the people of Draynor Village. Ruanton seems excited for us to use the anvil, so as thanks for the information he gave me, I make sure to bring my iron bars down here and use them on the anvil. I've decided to make nails so that if I need to do any more construction later, I'll have nails to spare. Let's get back to our combat tasks for today. There are spooky ghosts in the manor, so let's take one of those out real quick. We're going to need to be much stronger if we're going to take down the notorious Count Draynor. On our way back into town, we check out the notice board. Sarah, just up the road, has posted a notice looking for a keen fighter. It seems she has a monster on her hands. Time to investigate. I hear you have a monster on the loose.
Yes, a great and terrifying thing it was. My cart was toppled over and my crops went everywhere.
Are you okay? Were you hurt?
Gracious, no. I managed to flee before any harm came to me.
Well, I'll help you with this beast. What can you tell me about it?
Near the crossroads I was. Heading to Lumbridge I was. Scared me it did.
Did you get a good look at the creature?
'Twas too dark to get a mighty good look. Saw it charging me I did, so run did I.
Alright, well I'm going to investigate. Stay here on the farm for now. So we check out the crossroads where Sarah described being attacked. Her cart is still here and there are crops knocked onto the ground. They lead up north in a path as if something grabbed them and ran. We follow the crop trail and find a hole in the ground near the river. It's too dark to see far inside. We can't see how deep it is, so we'd better get a rope. Okay, we've got a rope. Let's go check it out. When we tie up the rope and enter, we find ourselves in a small cave. There's another rope on the ground that appears to have broken off. Someone else has been here before. We jump a ledge and follow through to find the skeleton of an adventurer. A note on the body says to get out while we can. We're ready to leave when... We wake up back in Draynor Village in a small house.
So you're finally awake.
Who are you? What happened?
You were attacked by a sour hog. You're lucky I found you in time. I'm Spira, your rescuer.
I'm Citizenscape. Thank you for the rescue. How did you know I was down there?
I didn't. I was investigating the creature for Sarah, same as you I suppose.
Well, yes, I was. It shot something in my eyes and they burned.
You weren't prepared to fight a sour hog. Some creatures require more than brute strength to kill. Without goggles you're susceptible to a sour hog's attack.
Well, I suppose you took down the sour hog then?
No, I was simply scouting it out, then I was busy rescuing you.
Thanks again.
You'll need to be better equipped if you're going to fight it again.
Oh, you're not going to claim the bounty?
You got there first. Slayer's Code.
Okay, well, where might I get some goggles?
Here, take mine, I have spares. If you do manage to take out the sour hog I'd be interested in taking you on as an apprentice. If you don't come back, well the bounty is mine. Either way I win.
I suppose that's fair. You seem to know a lot about these creatures. Do you have any more suggestions?
The thick hide of a sour hog provides it with added padding against magical and slashing attacks. I'd suggest piercing it with your sword over slashing. Their bulky frame means they can't follow into tight spaces too.
Got it. Thanks. I'll be back soon.
Good hunting.
With our goggles and these new tricks, we can try this fight again. The sour hog is really tough and our food isn't the best. We're not really high enough of a level to handle this in a straight fight. We do take Spira's advice though and slowly whittle it down by standing in a narrow space. It seems a little like cheating, but this is what we need to do to help Sarah. When we take out the sour hog, we cut off a foot to show as proof to Sarah. Okay, the beast is slain. It won't be troubling you anymore.
Worried I was, but what good news this is. Please, take this reward.
So we're given 5,000 gold for completing this bounty. We should go talk to Spira about it. I did it. I've killed the sour hog.
Congratulations. Where there's one there's usually more, but they probably won't surface for a little while now. I'll stay here and keep them at bay. Let me teach you a little about Slayer. If you want, I can task you with other creatures to kill. You should improve your knowledge of combat that way.
Yeah, what do you have in mind?
How about you kill 12 cave bugs for me? They live in the caves below the Lumbridge swamp.
Yeah, I can do that. What can you tell me about them?
They're not very hardy, but they regenerate health quickly. You'll need to take them out quickly. If you have a big crushing weapon that would work best, but your sword should do the job.
So we head over to the Lumbridge swamp. Killing a cave bug is an achievement too, so we do manage to knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. The cave bugs regenerate 1 hit point every time we swing at them. If we don't keep dealing damage, they just regenerate. We complete our task and get 19 attack and 21 hit points in the process. We've done a lot of killing, so I think it's time to break that up with some of our other skills. We need to get 30 woodcutting, firemaking and fletching to chop, burn and fletch willow logs. We have the woodcutting level already, but we do need to increase the other 2. We'll be chopping oak logs for this. Now that that's done, let's get a start on fletching. We managed to get our woodcutting level up to level 41 doing this. We're quite far ahead of our woodcutting requirement. With a log cut, burned and fletched, our task is complete. When we return to Spira, she tells us that Count Draynor has increased his attacks on the village. She's been studying vampires and thinks we might be able to handle it. She does suggest a bit of combat training before we do though. We're going to get our attack, strength and defense up to level 20 each, then return to Spira. I've come down to the sewers to get level 20 attack by killing zombies. It's not very quick, but we can go visit Adventurer John in Lumbridge for a bit of an upgrade now. He gives me a mithril longsword, a definite upgrade to our black longsword, but I had my eye on a scimitar in Zeke's shop when we were in Alcared. Now that we can both afford it and use it, I've purchased a mithril scimitar. The scorpions to the north were a pain when we were here, so perhaps we can get our revenge and some levels there. Okay, we've managed to get both defense and strength to level 20, plus our hit points are now level 23. We can get more gear from Adventurer John now. Now our armor is improved, and we're given a new amulet that makes us stronger. With these fish and potions, I think we're ready for Count Draynor. Let's go talk with Spira. Spira has been keeping an eye on the vampire attacks and tells us to talk with Morgan next door. He may have some information that is helpful for taking out a vampire. We talk with Morgan and he tells us he has a friend who lives in the Blue Moon Inn in Varrock. This friend was once a great vampire slayer. This man's name is Dr. Harlow. We travel to Varrock to find this man, but he's tipsy and doesn't want to talk to us unless we buy him alcohol. I didn't bring a drink or any money, so we'll have to be right back. Okay, now we've given him a beer and he'll talk to us. He tells me that we need a stake to finish off a vampire, otherwise they just regenerate. He hands me one and says that we should bring a hammer with us to properly drive it through his heart. We're also told that garlic is useful in weakening vampires. Morgan back in Draynor Village keeps a stock of garlic, so we should get one from him. Prepared and ready to fight, let's head into the manor. We've bought potions and lots of food. The way that everyone talks about Count Draynor, I'm expecting a difficult fight. Even though everyone's talked up the danger of Count Draynor, he seems to go down without much fight at all. Well, that was disappointing. Okay, well that was underwhelming. Perhaps we're just that good. We're ready to take on any threat. With the people of Draynor Village saved by their new hero, we're ready to head to a new land. Let's hop over to the other side of the fence. I'll see you next time in Port Sarim.